fine dining rooms for less. Come in today and see our super selection of quality groups at big savings. Here's a super buy. Coffee and 2 end tables, just $247. FFO Home, where great quality lives for less.
Roll.
Some companies in Pittsburgh face a skills gap. Plenty of jobs open, but not enough people to fill them. Plus, funding from a settlement will help fight cyber crime in Missouri. And the best places to eat in Joplin in our special report, Frank About Food.
The 4 states most watched news starts
now.
A lack of trained technical workers has left some Pittsburgh employers with jobs to fill and no one to fill them.
CG's in standby 3.
KOAM News at 10.
He's on 3.
There are currently some 600,000 full-time jobs in the U.S. left unfilled due to a lack of trained people. And that skills gap has hit Pittsburgh. It's where we sent KOAM's Tim Spears.
Certified electricians are
clear 129 standard
need around here.
There's a skills gap facing Pittsburgh.
We could fill approximately 20 jobs right now.
Too many jobs, not enough qualified workers.
The biggest concern that we hear from our local businesses is they just can't find enough employees.
The skills gap is nationwide. Employers say there aren't enough people being trained in vocational, technical, or skilled labor fields.
I mean, my parents really drilled that into me. You need to get a bachelor's degree if you're going to be successful in life. And the economics argue with that right now.
Something local officials want to fix regionally.
So we have become very actively involved in setting up a vocational school here in Pittsburgh, Kansas that can help drive the training that we need to grow manufacturing.
Behind me is the future home of the Southeast Kansas Career and Technical Education Center. Officials hope the center will help close the skills gap, but say the biggest change needs to be cultural.
I just feel like in the 80s and the early 90s, we had a big shift away from people working with their hands.
Whether somebody is a welder or whether somebody is a nurse or whether somebody's a doctor, lawyer, whatever, to me, it's all noble work.
People can earn great money in this field,
3.
And we just want to make sure that people are made aware of it.
In Pittsburgh, Tim Spears, KOAM News.
Officials hope to have the Career and Technical Education Center open by the end of the year in a limited form, then add up to an additional dozen programs over the next 5 years. A lawsuit settlement bringing $21.5 million to help fund a number of programs, including cyber crimes task forces. 14 counties are represented by the Southwest Missouri Cyber Crimes Task Force, housed at the Joplin Police Department. State grant funds help pay 3 full-time investigators and for equipment and technology licensing fees. A Berry County deputy was pulled from the force when $1.5 million was withheld statewide by the governor. But because of that settlement, that officer could now return. However, coordinators say without more settlement dollars, there's concern for next year.
We'll request it in the future.
17 any way we can get it
where he thinks those cuts need to be made or where he thinks those funds need to be allocated. It's the citizens themselves that dictate what's important or what isn't important. So we would ask for citizen support any way we can get it.
The task force received more than $200,000 in state grants in fiscal 2014 and asked for nearly $300,000 in the 2015 grant. Next year's funding is part of the current budget debate, and Geller urges citizens to press lawmakers to fund it. Other programs getting a funding boost right now include sheltered workshops. For a complete list, go to our website. Local doctors say they've heard more people ask about the measles vaccine as more states report measles outbreaks. But nurses say most of these people asking about the vaccine are older and no longer have young children. Some parents in the 4 states choose not to vaccinate their children because of health concerns. Missouri allows parents to cite religious reasons for not vaccinating their kids. Workers at the Jasper County Health Department say most of the time not vaccinating a child or adult carries more risk.
We think you should be immunized.
16 is fairly high. Clear. VO tag.
Is very, very
Stand by to keep dial over video.
The risk of contracting one of the illnesses that could be prevented from that is fairly high.
We talked with some people today who are against vaccinating their children because of health concerns. However, they did not want to be interviewed on camera.
Jim.
Kansas Governor Sam Brownback has announced plans to cut
Stand by
nearly
VONA.
$45 million in funding for public schools and higher
Roll
education.
it.
The cuts would take effect next month. The announcement came ahead of a Senate vote on a bill aimed at erasing a projected $344 million deficit.
Stand by 1.
Kansas law gives the governor the authority to make some budget cuts on his own to keep the budget in balance.
Jim.
Doug Hetty joins us. Plenty of sunshine today. Didn't do enough to alleviate the cold. However, relief is on the horizon. Doug Hetty.
Yeah, very cold day for us today. In fact, very cold start. Most of us down right around 10 degrees during the morning hours, but
They're clear. We're out on video.
To head in the right direction over the next couple days, which is great news. Few clouds out there right now. Still not that bad. Just kind of mid.
The next camera shot will be
clouds, but
camera
I
2
do
up
think we'll see
above.
partly cloudy
We have
skies
several videos
throughout
before
the
that.
overnight hours. Still cold. Most of us are sitting mid 20s, upper 20s. I think we're pretty close to our overnight low. I don't think we're going to drop off too much more from this point. In fact, I think we'll slowly rise as we head toward dawn. So 33 in the morning, 38 by 9, 47 by 11 a.m. So a quick warm up, and we're going to continue to warm up over the next couple days. We'll talk about that.
Stand by VOND.
And we'll catch you then.
Roll B.
Joplin City officials tonight held the second of 3 public input meetings about
Clear.
a proposed skate park. Company officials from the American Ramp Company, which has been hired to design the park, showed off a number of options tonight for the park layout.
Roll it.
Tonight we had about 20 different
And
skaters.
11 getting
So
really close.
narrowing
Clear.
down,
VO
what
tag.
everybody's
Stand by to
wanting
keep
and
down
putting it
over
on paper.
video.
And everybody's excited. I'm happy with the way it's going, and I think we're getting really close.
Jim.
The final public
Stand by
meeting will be held
VOND.
a week from tonight at 5 p.m. at American Ramp Company. That's at 601 South McKinley.
Roll B.
Pitt State's Study Abroad office today held its Study Abroad Exchange Fair. Officials
Stand by
told
Biden
students
A.
about opportunities available to them through the International Student Exchange.
Roll A.
I think learning abroad is a great
Then
opportunity
22,
to
the
expand your
professional
knowledge.
world. Clear.
You get to
VO
learn a lot
tag.
about
Bump is
yourself
next.
as well as learn about other cultures. And in today's world, no matter what you choose to do as your profession, you need to be able to work with other cultures and people of various backgrounds. So it's a real
Stand by to
benefit
keep
to do
down
that
over video.
in an educational setting where it's a safer place, and then take that out into the professional world.
Jim. Stand by 2 and
Pitt
music
State
to
has
bump.
exchange programs with 36 universities in 13 countries.
Thank you. Musical.
That is
Stand
the
by
latest
VOND.
Quick check of the weather within the first 7 minutes of KOAM News.
Roll
at
B.
10.
Stand by
So, a
VR.
special report from kid-friendly restaurants to the best places to eat for under $50. We're going to talk to a local food blogger about the best culinary experiences in Joplin.
Roll VR.
Live from KOAM. You're watching KOAM News at 10. This is the 4 states' most watched news.